All right, shalom, shalom. All right, brothers and sisters, back out once again to preach the gospel on the downfall of Babylon the Great and wake up the Lord's elect. So first and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostle, Elder Great Millstone, and man taught this truth. And shalom to the elect, wherever you may be. All right, so shalom, shalom. So brothers and sisters, hey, things, heating up, down there, in the Middle East, man, because you got Israel, Iran, they going at it with each other. And now the U.S. has got involved because, I was seeing on the news, Trump had bombed, Iran nuclear sites down there, because basically, Trump saying he want to stop Iran from having a nuclear weapon, but that's crazy because, okay, Trump, he bombed them, but not too long ago, like it was right when Israel, Iran were going at it. Like I say, Trump was saying, U.S. had nothing to do with it, something like that, and then they were calling for peace. But now Trump had basically went against Iran, their little peace agreement, whatever, and he bombed them nuclear sites down there in Iran, and Iran has retaliated because I seen Iran, they had sent missiles and it hit one of the U.S.'s air bases in Iraq and Qatar. So yeah, man, things just heating up, because a time now is short, man. The Lord, he's speeding things up. You see a prophecy, man, it's really nowadays, it's already here, really. It just got to turn up.
And really, hey, man, ever since Trump been in office, in the house, stuff been turning up ever since, you know what I'm saying? Then, about a week ago, a couple days ago, we was out here, we were talking about ICE, the deportations and all that. Trump trying to get these illegal immigrants sent back to their country. Oh yeah, then you had the protests out there in California, LA, that was going on too. Me and Trump, we trying to force a lot of laws that people not with.
Right. And then also,
the people up in the uproar, and we read about that in Second Esdras, like last week.
Right.
We could bring that out again for verification.
Right. All right. So, also Trump also has stated that he would be trying to make Iran great again, something like that. He was saying, cause he was saying he gonna go in there, he gonna take over, that land. But that's Esau. Esau, all he been doing is taking stuff. Hey, these countries, they getting fed up with the U.S., man. Right. Hey, America, sorry. America, man, is a bully to these other nations. So, there's gonna come a time they're gonna get tired of it. They're gonna really jump America, because all these countries, they're gonna come against the U.S., because, so America is backing Israel, so that means, I think Russia backs Iran, I think. Yeah, something like that. What I'm saying is, it ain't just gonna be, Israel, Iran, it's gonna be plenty of other nations get involved, but they all gonna make their target the U.S. Cause this country gonna get hit with the missiles. Now I'm gonna say this also. Now, even if it do cool down some, they do come to a settlement, it don't matter. We know what's gonna happen, it don't matter what happened, if they come to agreement, whatever, it doesn't matter. This place still gonna be destroyed.
Right, and they right. But no matter what happened, this place still gonna meet its demise, because why? That's prophecy in the Bible.
Right. So
it don't matter.
Cause I seen something on the news that's saying, is America at war with Iran? Well, it ain't just Iran they got to worry about. You got Russia, the NATO. So yeah, man, it's gonna be everybody against his country. So, but we just gonna have to just keep watching, you know, stay tuned, see what happens. We know time is short, you know. And yeah, man. I'm gonna start off in the book of Matthew, chapter 24. Starting from the top. And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to shew him the buildings of the temple. And Yahushua said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily, I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. Verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? So, right. So basically, the disciples wanted to know what the signs were, what to look for when it's, you know, the end times.
Right.
So I'm going to continue reading. Verse 4. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Messiah, and shall deceive many. So that's one sign right there. And you got that going on. People saying they the Lord, saying they King David, you know, shit like that. You know, just bug outs. That's all it is. Okay, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So right, wars and rumors. So we're hearing the rumors, right? But you also got wars actually going on. So we seeing that in these last days. Why? Because the Lord, he finna make his return. This is what the Lord was talking about. What we seeing going on in the news, yeah, that's what Yahushua referring to. Wars and rumors. So right. That's how we know the Lord is near. Now we don't know exactly when the Lord gonna come back, you know, but we know he close because of prophecy, you know.
Right. Speaking of wars and rumors, you know, with this whole Iran and U.S. thing popping out, that's a sign right there.
All right.
That we in the time of war. You know, a full-blown out war ain't just, you know, happening yet, but they just go to show you that, hey, man, we in them times, we getting close.
Right. And another thing, it said, be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So right. So basically, we're not supposed to like worry about, you know, what's going on. We're supposed to keep watch, but you know how these people is in the world, you know, they all, you know, scared and stuff. It might be another war and stuff. Well, it is gonna be another war, but we don't know exactly what it's gonna be like right now at this moment, but it's coming. But just don't be in that spirit of fear like the world, because you know the world is, you know, they hear about another war, they start, you know, how they get, you know, everybody start freaking out and stuff. But no, see, we know what's going on, so we're not supposed to be worried about that, because that has to happen, you know, because that's part of prophecy. You know, we teach her these things, you know, and now we seeing them playing out. You know, starting from the Apostle Elders, Great Millstone, they've been teaching this for years. They said now it's coming into play. So yeah, but the end is not yet. So we ain't at the end all the way yet. We getting there, but the end ain't gonna be till Yahushua come back. That's when the country gonna get hit with them missiles. But it's heating up though, I just say that, you know. Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Right, we seeing that going on. You know, nation rise against nation, you know, kingdom against kingdom. Right, that's referring to war as well. You know, them battling, you know. And then, you know, you're gonna have famines. They ain't they're not here yet, but they coming. You know, it's approaching. And then pestilences, like, you know, it might be disease and stuff going out. How do you know they see the coronavirus came? You could have something else. And then earthquakes in diverse places. You know, that's basically going on now because there's earthquakes in a whole lot of areas. You having weather disasters and stuff. So verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. So right, so basically when shit do pop off, they're gonna put the blame on us. Cause they're gonna be like, oh, y'all were teaching hate and stuff, that's why the country falling. You know. But that's what Esau gonna do. He try to go make it seem like it's our fault. Cause really they wanna get rid of us. Why? Because we probably signed a downfall of their kingdom, their rulership.
See, another thing, they going to persecution because like we gonna be looked at in a bad way. And we gonna have people come up against us and, you know, say this and say that, say all type of lies and say, oh, y'all the reason this the way it's going because y'all like to teach some madness and hate. And y'all teach that only one nation of people can be saved. So they don't like that.
Right, and then it said we're gonna be hated for my name's sake. Right, so meaning we're gonna be hated because we pushing, you know, Yahweh Yahushua. We ain't pushing Jesus, you know, and God, or anything else, you know, because the world, they with that. The world's against Yahweh Yahushua though, so that's what we teaching, but that's why we're gonna be looked at in that way. All right. Verse 10. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. Verse 11. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. So right, you seeing that going on now. False prophets, you know, teaching false doctrine, and people actually getting deceived by that too. Cause you got Israelites circumcised out here telling lies, and you got the ones who follow, they going along with that, you know.
And that's right though. That's all part of prophecy too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey man, you know, the Lord, he got it set up that way for a reason. You know what I'm saying? You know, the scriptures speak about false prophets. Right? So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we ain't have false prophets, then the story wouldn't add up. That mean that's another way of saying, oh, the scriptures a lie. If you want to be, you know, somebody out here to try to deceive people, you know.
Right, because you got the ones who the Lord dealing with, you got the ones who the Lord ain't dealing with. So somebody got to play those roles in the Lord's movie.
Right.
It's like you got the good and the evil. You just can't have the good, man. You got to have the evil too.
Like, it's all about balance.
Right.
At the same time.
And another thing, that one correlate as well. Verse 12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. You seeing that going on now. You got people turning on each other. Like I seen, it was a couple. I think it was a wife. She killed her husband or something like that. But that just, you know, love meaning wax cold, you know. The Lord putting these spirits on these people. Right? It's fulfilling prophecy. But you gonna have that going on. People gonna turn on each other. Best friends gonna become enemies, things like that. It could be your own family member too. So, yeah. Verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. That's right. You endure through all what's coming, then the Lord gonna deliver you. Now, if you don't endure to the end, the Lord not gonna deliver you. That's what it's about. You gotta endure to the end. You don't come into the ministry just to do a little something and then call it quits. Nah. You gotta keep doing this because you gotta live this way. A lot of Jason, I came to the truth, man. Probably for some years, you know, then probably just went back into the world. or they got tired of going to camp, doing videos, stuff like that. You can't do that. You know, you gotta.
I just did a lesson recently about diligence. You know, man, you gotta be consistent. You gotta try to put all effort into this thing, man. Not just every blue moon, every few months, years, and then loop, man.
Right. Another thing, I want to speak for myself first and foremost. Now, if you having trouble, focusing and stuff, you need to pray to the Lord about that. Because you don't want nothing to get in the way you serving the Lord. And remember, the ministry come first. So always keep that in your head. So you can't just put this thing off because you want to do something or something come up, Not saying it's gonna be perfect, but still though, you need to try your best, just stay locked in. Cause the world is a distraction. I get distracted sometimes. I procrastinate sometimes too. And I gotta work on that.
That gonna happen right there, cause being in the flesh and
right.
Some things can be distracting or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like pray to the Lord, man, that you get better.
Right.
To move forward.
But all I'm saying is make sure you put forth an effort. You're trying to do your best. All right, verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness. Right, all the world. So everybody gonna hear the word, man. So, cause you got us teaching right now. There's some other brothers teaching somewhere. And then some more brothers probably gonna go out tomorrow, And then different states too, brothers pushing the word. And out of the U.S., brothers teaching. So, yeah, man. The word is going out everywhere. It's not like it's not being seen, because everybody gonna hear the word of the Lord. Ain't not one person can say, oh, I didn't know. Nah. Because it's like this. Whether you come across, the word in person, that's when I say the word, I'm not just talking about some random Christian teaching. No, I'm talking about the man of the Lord, the prophets. You can come across them in person, hear it that way, or the internet. The internet is up for a reason.
I want to say that, the Lord set up the internet for, I feel like that's the main reason the Lord set up the internet, so
right.
The message can be pushed forth.
Exactly, because you got to think about it.
Social media.
When the Lord get done, giving out his word, we, make the prophets go silent. The internet is going to vanish, man. It's going to go away. It's going to be no more internet soon. Read it again. Verse 14 is Matthew 24. Verse 14, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So right, the word got to go out first before the Lord bring you catastrophes. So the reason why stuff ain't fully popped off yet, because the Lord still got his word going out. When the Lord stop his word from going out, the shit gonna get hectic. It's gonna be full action. The Lord ain't gonna have to say nothing no more. He's speaking through his men now, but he ain't gonna have to say nothing no more during that time. He just gonna get busy. Another thing, this gospel, right? The gospel of the kingdom, not what the world teaching. Any Christian churches. Another thing, I've been seeing these churches been getting shot up, as well. Right, because the Lord ain't in there.
It's just judgment right there, bro.
We steady telling y'all that, but motherfuckers rebellious. Don't want to listen. But, it's only for a remnant, once again. Verse 15. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house, neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter. I don't select, I lost where I was at. Okay. Verse 20. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor there ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sakes, those days shall be shortened. So right, a great tribulation was ahead. Now you're seeing the wars and rumors now, but now you finna start seeing the tribulation soon, which is already going on, like with ICE, you know, with the deportations and the protests and stuff. It's already going on, but that's gonna ramp up.
And you know, the people in the uproar out there protesting about it, and
Yeah.
you know, they ain't messing with it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you got on that.
Yeah.
That's a Joel 3.
Yes. Start. Let's start from the top.
Should be down to
Read the whole chapter.
this is Joel 3, verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. Verse 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and part of my land. So, right, you know, it's basically going to, hey man, the Lord gonna bring that recompense for Israel, man, you know.
Hold on, read that again.
Verse 1 and 2.
Just start back from the top. Read it again.
For behold, in those days and in that time, I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, of the Israelites. Verse 2. I will also gather all nations and bring them down in the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Right, so the Lord gonna gather all the nations, bring them down into the battle of Jehoshaphat. And that's gonna be during World War III, because the Lord gonna bring all the nations in. He gonna judge them right there, because they gonna be battling each other at first. But then when Yahweh Shah step back on the scene with the angels, they're gonna try to fight the Lord. And that's when the Lord, he gonna slay him. Continue.
And will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and part of my land.
Right, and who did that? Who scared us is Esau.
Right? Esau Edom. Right. Verse 4. Verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. Right?
Right, you know, Esau used to trade us, you know, back then, you know, during the harsh times of slavery, he used to sell our people, you know. Other slave owners probably trade, you know, japes for, like, you know, stuff. Basically, they just sold us around and shit, like cattle, honestly, like resources.
Verse 4. Yeah, and what have ye to do with me, Osiris, Sidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? That ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, but I will turn the recompense into your own head. The word recompense. You know, basically going into payback or whatever.
Right.
You know, there need to come a time where the Lord is going to redeem Israel and bring judgment forth upon these nations.
Right, especially Esau Edom.
Like all the weakness Esau done did, like you was just talking about how during the times of slavery they was selling, Jake. You know what I'm saying? No matter who they were, whether it was your kids, your grandkids,
Right, and
you
then
couldn't do that. Like back then, Jake couldn't do nothing, get them back or whatever. You had to watch.
and like Esau, he got a whole track record. The devil done did so much to the nation of Israel. But we'll be out here forever talking about what Esau done did, man. But this man's the devil, Yeah, he got a whole record. The Lord got his record, man. The Lord gonna pay him back for everything he did too.
Verse 5, because ye have taken my silver and my gold and have carried into the temples my good and pleasant things. Verse 6, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. That's going into that too, taking the children of Israel and moving them here, moving them up.
Yeah.
Doing all types of stuff. Or beating Jake down, beating him down with false philosophies. Jake losing their heritage.
Alright.
Verse 7. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. Lord, he's gonna raise Jacob real soon. He's gonna bring judgment upon Esau. So what Esau, got going on and what he done did, because when the judgment must come, and yeah, the other nations they gonna get it too, but it's mainly starting with Esau Edom. The judgment. Okay, verse 8, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, the Lord has spoken. Like, man, one day, hey, it's gonna be payback, like, so yeah, man, the Lord gonna allow Israel to have these heathen women, and they gonna be like the children of the other nations, man. They gonna be labor for us.
Yeah.
Hey, man, because you can't have a kingdom without having servants or whatever.
Right.
Okay, verse 9. Proclaim ye against among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, and all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Verse 10, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I'm strong. Break it down. Verse 11, assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither, because thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Verse 12, let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
Right, so the Lord basically just gonna draw in the nations, in that land where he can, judge them. And he gonna judge them by, having them fight each other.
Verse 13, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. When it says their wickedness is great, what are you talking about? Esau Edom.
Right.
Verse 14, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Verse 15, The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw the shining. Verse 16, for the Lord also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake, but the Lord will be the hope of his people, and the strength of the children of Israel. Right, for the Lord, he's dealing with Israel. He's gonna raise up Israel to be great again, Right now, we dumbed down, we in captivity. We gotta be out of our heritage. You know what I'm saying? We ain't always know. It's like we ain't always know we were the children of Israel or whatever. But there's gonna come a time where Israel gonna reign with the Lord. Right about you Verse 17. So shall you know that I am the Lord, your God, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no stranger pass through her anymore.
Right. And then Jerusalem gonna be back holy once the Lord, destroy America and destroy, them damn small hats, nuke their ass out of our land. That's when, the kingdom will come about. That's when, there's gonna be nothing but righteousness after that as well. Hold on, read that again.
So shall you know that I am the Lord, your power, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through anymore.
Right, strangers mean the heathens. You ain't gonna have strangers in our land taking over. Once the Lord, make his return, he gonna set things in order.
Right.
That's what the kingdom all about. Order being restored and righteousness flourishing. Right now, there's no order. It's just wickedness being pushed all abroad. Why? Because Esau, Edom, these wicked elites. That's what they with. They with the evil, the filthiness, so that's why you got that going on. But the Lord gonna flip that and turn to righteousness once he sent his son, how shot back, do away with this evil ass country. That's when the kingdom will get set up.
Right. Verse 18. It shall come to pass in that day that the mountains shall drop down with wine, and the hills shall flow with milk, and all the rivers of Judah shall flow with waters, and the fountains shall come forth out of the house of the Lord, and shall water gather Shittim. Verse 19. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness, for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. That's right, man.
Mm-hmm.
This country of Babylon, which is America, real soon it ain't gonna be no more. You know what I'm saying? And hey, man, it's gonna be a lot of. Y'all done did a lot of bloodshed, so it's gonna be a lot of bloodshed here, or the Edomites.
Right.
Because y'all done did so much bloodshed towards Judah, putting them in slavery or setting up Jim Crow, 1920s to the 1960s. Then you got police brutality. The Edomite police shooting Jake down in the streets. All that going on.
Mm-hmm. Then what's gonna leave it desolate? The missiles. That's not gonna be a desolate wilderness. Right.
Verse 20. But Judah shall dwell forever, and Jerusalem for generation to generation. So right, man. The nation of Israel basically never gonna go extinct, like the Edomites and the other nations.
Well, yeah, it's just gonna be Edom. The other nations still gonna be around.
I meant to say. That's what I meant to say. Esau, they gonna serve so many years of captivity in the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? And after that, they're gonna be extinct. The Lord gonna wipe them out. While the other nations still gonna be here serving
Us.
Israel.
Yep.
Yeah, sloppy. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, Esau, you're gonna be done away with. After you serve your slavery, that's it. The Lord gonna do away with y'all. Why? Because y'all the cancer of the earth. You know. Once again, how you treat cancer, you burn it. So America being the cancer of the earth, couldn't be wicked ass elites. So the Lord gonna burn it with his cure being the ICBM missiles.
Right. All right, verse 21, last verse. For I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed from the Lord brother from Zion.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, judgment is coming to this country, man. We can see it again there. You know, motherfuckers still carrying on, you know, like nothing going on, but they're gonna get caught off guard real soon. That's all you got. This whole job. Okay. Jump in Revelation 17. So we're just gonna stay on Babylon right now. Revelation 17, start from the top. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will shew thee, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore. And the whore is America, Babylon the Great, that sitteth upon many waters. And the waters, many waters, that being the people. Verse 2, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. You're right. Babylon has done trade with these other nations. And then also, that wine that they spewing out upon, you know, the people. You know, they got the people drunk, you know, got them doing wickedness and stuff. Right, because that's what the country push. You got other people from other countries coming to Babylon getting westernized, taking on her ways. But you as a Hebrew Israelite, you gotta come out of that. Right. Verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet colored beast, full of the names of the blasphemy. So like a blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. So that woman, you know, is referring to America. Verse 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Right, because, you know, America is referred to as a woman because, you know, there's a lot of adultery goes on in this place. And then, you know, like I said, well, I'm finna get into it. You know, it's finna state why America is called the whore, you know. And then, you know, this place is very proud too. And these women, they are proud as well. Because, you know, the woman, you know, basically put on the footstool over the man. But that's out of order, but you can blame Esau for that. All right. Let me read verse 4 again. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. And then another reason why it says that, you know, given the description of America, because America is looked at as, you know, the top country. The place is looked at as amazing and all that. You refer it to a woman, you know, because you just got a pretty woman, then you look upon her, and she'll look good to you. That's how America look to the people. And I say to other countries who want to come here, this is the place to be. But really, it's full of wickedness. Okay. So right, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. Having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. That's why it's called a whore, because it's the mother of harlots. That's all you see here in America. A whole bunch of harlots, you know, round and about. And then it was referred to as Mystery Babylon the Great because they didn't know that Babylon the Great was America. John the Revelator didn't know that, you know, we're talking about America. That's why it's called Mystery Babylon the Great. But, you know, our teachers, our apostles, you know, the Lord gave them understanding, so they broke it down that Babylon the Great is America. And, you know, that lines up with the scriptures. But just look, how could this place not be Babylon? You know? So, and right, the abomination of the earth, right? It's where all the most evil stuff goes on in this country, you know. Verse 6. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints being the Israelites, and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her. And the beast, that being the Roman Empire, you know, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. Right, America is uplifted. You know, the beast system, you know, it uplifts this place. You know, these other nations, they lift America up, you know. So, yeah. Okay. Verse 7. And the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carried her, which had the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit. I believe the bottomless pit is referring to Europe, and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and one is and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. And the 10 horns which I saw are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb. Now, Lamb being Yahushua, and the Lamb shall overcome them. Right, because Yahushua, once he step on the scene, he gonna overcome all these nations. The Lord, he gonna take the crown, you know.
You got Esau. Esau gonna try to fight back when Yahushua come back, but it ain't gonna really work. Because how can you fight angelic power with man-made power, man-made weapons and all that? You know what I'm saying? So it ain't gonna fail.
And since you said that, I'm gonna grab some. It's Obadiah 1 and 3. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? What you just saying. See, the devil got so much pride, he gonna think he can outdo the Lord, you know, with his army. But, you know, that's how much pride the Lord put on the devil, man. You know, because that's impossible for them to take down the Lord. But in Esau mind, which is full of pride, they think they can do it. That's why they call themselves, like, some years ago, trying to make a space force. Right then, you know, they freaking out because they seeing the chariots out there in the sky, you know.
That's another thing I was gonna say. If you ever seen that movie, I think it's Independence Day with Will Smith, where like they got like the UFOs, they call them aliens, which they're not UFOs. So really, them in real life, them gonna be the chariots, you know, the angels of the Lord. And they had in the movie where they were actually taking down the chariots or the UFOs. See, that's Esau, man. You think he can do something like that, but that ain't gonna really happen like here in real life. Like, that's just a movie, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I wanted to bring that out as a reference.
Okay, so read verse 14 again. Israel 17. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is the Lords of lords and kings of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples, and multitudes, and nations, and tongues. And the 10 horns, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Right, the 10 horns being a NATO, right, and then the beast being the Roman Empire, and the whore referring to America, or Babylon, right? So basically, the NATO is going to go against, you know, Babylon, and, you know, leave this place desolate. Also, with Russia, but Russia not part of NATO, you know. And the fire is going to come from the ICBM missiles. And the missiles are going to get shot towards this place. A whole lot of them, you know. And that's going to be the end of this country. Verse 17, for the Most High had put in their hearts to fulfill his will and agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. So right, the Lord, he set it up like this. You know, he made, you know, things how they is now. For America, you know, to live deliciously for a point of time so they can be destroyed at the end. And last verse, and the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. All right. All right, read. Start from the top. Stop at verse 10.
This is Revelation 18, verse 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he was referencing to the Savior, Yahushua. Right, man, Yahushua. You know, that angel was going to come down. All right, verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the whole very foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. That's right, man. This country gonna fall, and you know, and hey, Babylon the Great, it's polluted with all of that. You know what I'm saying? Unclean spirits, wickedness, the habitation of devils, man. Because Babylon the Great is run by devils. It's run by this devil Esau. You know? Verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. So, right, man, you know, the other nations teaming up with, you know, Babylon, and, you know, like I said, you know, early trading, and, you know, and sometimes they follow after Babylon the great ways and shit like that, you know. Right. Trying to be a war country, you know, committing the same acts Babylon commit. You Let's see, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Israel to repent and turn from the ways of his place. But all of Israel ain't gonna repent, just a remnant of Israel.
Right.
This place plagued with weakness as well. Okay, verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. So, right, man, there's so much weakness going on in this place, so heavy that the Lord's seeing everything that's going on. And he even remembered the wickedness from a long time ago, like, how Esau made the Atlantic slave trade, how he killed the so-called Native American Indians, stole their land, robbed them, Jim Crow. And this stuff was going on decades ago. And Esau even doing stuff way before them times. The Lord, he remember all that. Verse 6, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, and the cup which she hath filled to her double.
Right, and part of that cup is slavery.
Right. These devils, got us in captivity. You still in captivity, but back then they had us in them chains, man. And hey, one day in the kingdom of heaven, man, shit, these devils, Esau, they're gonna get way worse. You got the other nations too, but mainly Esau. Esau the Lord's main target. Right. Okay. Verse 7, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow.
Right, that's the mindset of these elites. They think nobody can bring them down.
Yeah, man. That go back to that proudness of the devil Esau, man. Real proud.
Right. But I just read Obadiah 1 and 3. The pride of thy heart have deceived thee.
Verse 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord. Lord power will judge of her. All right, man, in that day, the place Babylon the Great gonna be burnt up, man. With that fire, with the ICMB missiles. And there's gonna be a lot of death going on in that day. Famine. You know what I'm saying? The word of the Lord ain't gonna be out here like how we out here pushing the word of the Lord. Prophets ain't gonna be around in that day. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna judge it. Verse 9. And the kings of the earth who have committed kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning.
Right.
You want to say something?
Right, basically, you are the country, they're gonna see America Babylon the Great basically get humbled. Right. And they're gonna be in shock too, cause this was a top country.
Right. Verse 10, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, at last, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. So right, man, it's gonna be finally the day of Babylon the Great, which is America, because the other countries, like you just said, man, they're gonna see it and be surprised, because they ain't gonna expect that, because like you said, Babylon was the top country.
Right.
But they gonna see that Babylon the Great gonna meet his demise, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's coming. Just like 10 minutes, 10, right? So that second edge was 15.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can get rid of 18, 13, whatever. But you can get one there.
Yeah. All right. The book of Second Ezra, sloppy. This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 15. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. That's right. Who doing that? The prophets. Those the only ones who teach the prophecy now. Not them false prophets now. They ain't teaching them what's going on out here. The true man of the Lord, the true prophets, the one that actually warn people of what's finna take place. So that's what we doing, you know. Verse 2, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the cruelty of them that trouble thee, that speak against thee. That's right, you know, all the naysayers, the shit talkers, the unbelievers, you know, anybody who against us, you know, we ain't worried about that. Cause nowadays, man, if you saying, oh, that ain't true, you know, about the prophecies, I mean, you just a fool, cause you look on the news and you tell me that don't line up with what we teaching. So yeah, ain't nobody worried about no naysayers, man. It's here.
Oh yeah, that going on heavy in these last days too, man. There's one elder that I see, he stay constantly making videos about scoffers and naysayers, talking about the Hebrew Israelites. You know, but at the same time, a lot of these Israelites, they bring stuff on themselves, like going out there doing too much, like yelling at folks, and when all they gotta do is go out there and just teach the word and stop harassing people and yelling at people and trying to force it on people.
Mm-hmm.
They go out there and teach. That's another reason why these naysayers come the way they be coming. Because y'all be, you know, a lot of times y'all really just, you know, bring on yourselves at the same time too. So,
yeah, these other groups, man.
And being carnal, not
being spiritual, man.
Yeah, not being wise and using wisdom and stuff like that. You know.
Verse 4. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So anybody who don't believe, basically you gonna be put to death, man. Cause the Lord, he don't got room for unbelievers. The Lord only seeking out the true believers. So you just gonna get your judgment. Whoever, you know, against this truth, and it's the Lord's truth, matter of fact. It ain't our word, it's the Lord's word. So you against what we talking about, you against the Lord, man. Verse 5, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, right? The sword, famine, death, and destruction. Right? That's what's ahead for this place. Famine, death, and destruction. That's what's coming in the future, man. Cause the Lord, he gonna plague this place. You know, he gonna judge. Let's say he gonna judge America before the doom comes. Let's say like that. Well, he finish it off. The Lord gonna go to work in this country. Verse 6: For the wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Right? You saw Edom, Job 9:24. The earth gets a hand of wicked. You know, it's their fault. The reason the country the way it is, Esau, man. Verse 7. Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those days. Sloppy. Let me read that again. 2 Corinthians 15:8. I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. Right, man. Esau, they practice wickedness, man. All these devils do is do wickedness, man. Right. Esau can't go to sleep without doing evil, man.
Right,
you know?
Right, man. Hey, man. hey Jake, when you sleep at night, man, Esau, especially like the government, the elites, man, they planning all type of shit on their sleeves when your ass sleep at night.
Exactly.
You don't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, my big brother told me that. He said something like that a long time ago. You know.
Right. And that's true, man. All you knuckleheads out here carrying on, doing whatever. You know, Esau, he's seeking out how to destroy y'all ass, man. A lot of y'all don't even know it. See, Jake will fall for some shit like, oh, what was it? What them checks the government was giving out?
Oh, stimulus.
Stimulus check, yeah.
Yeah.
You get a Jake stimulus check, oh, he all buddy with Esau.
Yeah. And then another thing, like recently out here, when we teaching it, you know, they had like this celebration, where they created a celebration for the month of June called Juneteenth.
Right.
See, they see Esau push these so-called black holidays like Black History Month, Juneteenth. So it's like, oh, they support us, so I feel like we should support them back. And see, man, Esau doing that to play mind games with y'all, man.
Right.
You know, they won't support your ass, man.
Exactly. And then if they had wisdom, they'll know, you know, don't pay that shit no attention because you still in captivity.
Right.
Okay. Right. And then it said at the end, the soul of the just complain continually. And that's us. We complain to the Lord about all this wickedness going on. We're ready for the Lord to come destroy it.
Exactly, man, because for one, you stay getting vexed about the stuff we seeing in that place. Like the damn, like these motherfuckers in the alphabet community.
Right.
These women acting proud. You know, Jake, the 2/3 Jake's thinking they just so this and that, just so, you know, thugged out, you know, whatever. Trying to be the toughest motherfucker ever, you know.
Yeah.
And all these scoffers and naysayers, you know. You think we'll get tired of this stuff, seeing this stuff, man? Having to get up and work, pay bills, and, you know, get looked at in a certain way. You think you don't want to deal with that no more? You know?
Right. We can look that wrong because we want righteousness.
Right.
Ain't that crazy? We can look that a certain way because we want good to go throughout the earth, but nah. You see, man, this place is backwards, man.
And then another thing, you know, you catching hell, getting sick, going through all these infirmities and stuff like that.
Yeah, that too.
You know,
Yeah, man.
seeing family members, you know, pass away, you know, but you understand the reason behind that, but you know.
Yeah, but you know, we get tired of that stuff. I don't want to keep going to funerals. Had to keep, you know, getting sick, or you keep working for these devils, man. Ain't getting paid shit for real. And while other motherfuckers, they doing fine. You out here breaking your damn back to keep a roof on your fucking head. The motherfuckers who got it, they just sit back on their ass all damn day. So it's no, man. It's time for that to come to an end. It's time for us to do the sitting back. You know, and y'all as you a nation, y'all gonna go to work. Especially you, Esau. What's up? All right, verse 9. And therefore, saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. Right. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. And Egypt is referring to America.
Right.
So the Lord, he gonna smite Egypt with them plagues. And he gonna destroy this land. You know. Verse 13, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. Verse 13. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting in hell, and with a fearful constellation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Right? Speaking of war, verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So right when that time come, it should get hectic. Motherfuckers gonna be doing whatever. They ain't gonna care about the law, none of that. They're gonna be doing what they want to do, because it's gonna be a real hard time doing time take a shovel, to survive, Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Right, and because martial law, they're gonna step in and they're gonna have roadblocks and stuff. You won't be able to go here, go there, Verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Right, because of the pride of this country. That's why this gonna happen. The Lord, He just gonna judge the whole country. He gonna judge these people, And they don't even know it while they out here carrying on. The Lord, He finna seriously F them up. You ain't gonna be able to eat. You gonna lose your job, all that. It's gonna be a rough situation. Verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and great tribulation. Right, the time's gonna be rough.
Oh yeah, man, motherfuckers going to one another's houses, killing, robbing, just to get what they can get. Especially if they ain't had nothing to eat. That person's house might have a little food in there or whatever. They ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
That's how hectic and crazy it's gonna get out here. You know what I'm saying?
Verse 20. Behold, saith the Most High Power, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, even Libanians, to turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that they have done to them. Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also in a recompense in their bosom. Thus saith the Lord Power. My right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not seize over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. So right, the sword is gonna come for you, Esau, you devils. Y'all the one doing all that bloodshed. Okay. Verse 23, the fire is gone forth from his wrath, and hath consumed the foundations of the earth, and the sinners like the straw that is kindled. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord. I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children, from the power, defile not my sanctuary. For the Lord knoweth all them that sin against him, and therefore delivereth he them unto death and destruction. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them, for the Most High shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him. So right, you people, y'all gonna take part in them plagues, and majority of our people as well, the ones who are rebellious, they're gonna receive, the plagues and destruction from Yahweh, Yahushua. All right, so yeah, that's all that's coming forth, man. Just devastation, for this country. That's all I got on that.
Revelation 3 and 10.
Right, 3 and 10.
Read up 10, right?
No, just read 3 and 10. Just read verse 10.
This is Revelation 3, verse 10. because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
Right.
So right, man, it's gonna come a time where, hey man, you know, the elect, they gonna stand strong through these trials and tribulations during Jacob's trouble. Because hey, the whole world, well not the whole world, but Babylon the Great, all of America gonna feel Jacob's trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Only a remnant gonna be able to stand strong and, you know, and survive during them times. While everybody else gonna be going through it, catching hell, you know what I'm saying, getting took up through all types of stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Then the hour of temptation is particularly referring to the MOTB, because that's when it's gonna be made mandatory. You don't have to get it if you want to continue on in society.
Right, man.
It's gonna be tempting to get it. That's why I call it the hour of temptation, because you ain't gonna have nothing. But that's gonna be the real test right there, you know, of your faith. If you're really with, you know, the Lord.
Yeah, man. And the elite is not gonna take that mark of the beast.
Right.
Everybody else gonna take that mark of the beast.
You get Revelation 13.
That's all I want.
15.
This is Revelation 13. I'm gonna jump to verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. The beast is the Babylon. Verse 16. And he caused them all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And we're talking about that, somebody, the RFID chip is that mark of the beast. You know what I'm saying? Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So man, you ain't gonna be able to go to the grocery store and buy this and buy that unless you got that chip. It's the mark of the beast. You know what I'm saying? That's what the time gonna come in. The time gonna come into. You know what I'm saying? Same thing about it.
But yeah, also, you know, the MOTB being made mandatory, which is, see here, that's gonna be during, you know, these elites, their new world order that they trying to establish. Cause you can see again there, like all the AI and stuff, you know, that's where it's leaning to, you know. So, and then another thing, you know, the prophecies are going in order. So we won't have that. Destruction ain't gonna come until, you know, MOTB came to pass and Jacob's trouble. Before, you know, America meets its doom. But you gotta stay, you know, with prophecy. You know, one prophecy ain't gonna happen before another, you know. So yeah. But it's gonna be the end of this lesson. Lord willing, you were edified.
Right.
And hopefully soon we're back out again. We're gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, and Kakadash.
I say double honors to the apostle GMS, great millstone, you know, the men we learn the truth from.
All right.
Lord will the lesson or edifying to whoever watch it. So yeah, with that being said, next time, Lord will, we'll be back out here soon. Prophesy the downfall of the place, keep pushing. And yeah, shalom.
Shalom.